Thank you, Auntie Coco.
Oh my goodness!
You might think being able to afford a nanny would make having a child easier, but that's not always the case. Especially when kids haven't mastered keeping their hands to themselves yet. Penelope Disick. They say good help is hard to find, but it's even more challenging when your kid is out of control. Just ask Kourtney Kardashian, who was forced to find a new nanny after hers had a horrific encounter with her daughter, Penelope Disick. The poor woman was only trying to get her charge in the car.
He was really upset. She was putting her in the car, and Penelope scratched her face, but Pete can be out of control.
While Kourtney was exasperated about the loss of her nanny,
Come on.
Now where are we going?
she didn't seem too surprised about her daughter's behavior when she broke the news to the family on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This mom admits her middle daughter struggles to control her rage and says Penelope blacks out during incidents like these. Kris Jenner thinks this is a serious issue and insists none of her kids would ever do anything like that.
I scratched you, and I used to slap my nannies. Like, bam, across.
Apparently, Kourtney wasn't the easiest kid to take care of either. We wonder where Penelope gets it from. She says punishing your daughter is difficult because she doesn't bat an eye at most forms of discipline, including having your toys taken away. Quote, Penelope does not care. Every kid is different.
Look at me now.
No, they're not. They're just blue.
They're blue.
Northwest. Penelope Disick isn't the only kid in her family who's a total handful sometimes. It turns out her cousin Northwest isn't a fan of nannies either, and Kim has struggled to keep her from lashing out. But instead of hitting, North's favorite attack method is biting. Ouch! According to Kim, North actually tried to fire her nanny and send her back home, claiming that she didn't want her anymore.
Said, I don't want a nanny anymore. You can go home. And I was like, you can't fire a nanny.
Surprisingly, it wasn't Kim's oldest kid who sent most of their stuff packing. It was Kanye West. Quote, my husband is on this no-help kick. Kim says her husband decided to get rid of most of their helpers, which has made mornings in their household a lot more challenging. Quote, I can't even begin to tell you what getting ready in the morning is like. Just in case you think the kids in this family hate nannies in particular, North isn't any easier on her own parents, although she hasn't tried to fire them yet. She once took Kanye's phone, made a run for it, and threw it in the toilet, destroying it completely. She also pitched a massive fit when Kim wouldn't let her wear in the house a pair of Yeezy pink knee-high snakeskin boots. Considering the boots are worth $775, we think Kim made the right call. Luna Legend. Luna Legend is such a cute kid, it's hard to stay mad at her. Unless you're the one she's pushing over. When this tiny tot started preschool, her mom, Chrissy Teigen, asked how her day went and got some surprising news.
A Porsche.
Who did you push?
Push a boy.
You did.
Little Luna was surprisingly forthcoming about shoving one of her young classmates. This was, of course, after Chrissy made her debut at Luna's school orientation by throwing up and struggling to quiet her son, Miles. She worked so hard to find the right preschool for her daughter, but it seems like both mother and daughter might be having trouble adjusting. But apparently, Luna's bad behavior happens at home too. Chrissy said she went through a serious biting phase, but the good news is that she's over it now. The bad news is that she's moved on to licking people. Alana Thompson. Alana Thompson, better known as Honey Boo Boo, scored her own reality show after appearing on Toddlers and Tiaras. But instead of it being a dream come true, it ended up being a total nightmare for Alana and her family. According to her big sister Anna, Alana was encouraged to play into the over-the-top persona that made her a star in the first place. Needless to say, guzzling down go-go juice, a mixture of Red Bull and Mountain Dew, and living in the spotlight is less than ideal. Anna says the show was difficult on the whole family, but most of all on young Alana, whose personality began to change. Her sister describes her as very bratty and demanding, and admits she struggles to act like a normal kid. But things only got worse when Alana's mother, June Shannon, got her own show, Mama June from Hot to Not. June got arrested, and the rest of the family has been desperately trying to protect both Alana and her assets from her own mother. Alana is staying with her big sister Lauren, who can hopefully help her get her life back on track.
That I am staying with my sister, and that's not by choice.
Danielle Cohen. Danielle Cohen is a hugely popular social media star with 4 million Instagram followers, 1.5 million YouTube subscribers, and no shortage of attention on TikTok. But despite her constant online presence, her fans know very little about her real life. This teenage star caused controversy by announcing that she was expecting a child with her then-boyfriend, 16-year-old Mikey Tua. Since there was a baby on the way, the two got married in a Las Vegas ceremony officiated by an Elvis impersonator. Let's just say it wasn't quite on par with Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas's Vegas nuptials.
Shut the hell up.
Yes, Danny is pregnant.
But it did get over 3.8 million views on YouTube. Her fans might have enjoyed the video, but Danielle's father, Dustin Cohen, definitely didn't. In September 2019, he made a Facebook post claiming that Danielle is only 13 instead of 15 like she pretends to be. He revealed that he's very worried about his daughter and feels she's being exploited by people who are supposed to care for her. Even her mother, Jennifer, admits that what the wedding fans witnessed wasn't legally binding in any way. As for the pregnancy, Danielle and Mike admitted that was fake too. In a YouTube video, of course. Emmy and Max. Who wouldn't want a chance to stroll the red carpet with Jennifer Lopez dressed to the nines? Well, her two kids seem to be pretty over it already. JLo took her twins, Emmy and Max, to the premiere of her movie Home, and they were less than impressed by the whole thing. Film openings may seem glamorous, but to a kid, it's a lot of pressure. And Max apparently wasn't feeling it. He threw a full-on tantrum. And of course, there were tons of photographers on hand to capture it. As for Emmy, she held it together, but her face revealed how she really felt about the situation. But don't worry, when it was clear her kids had had enough, Jennifer sent them inside to relax.
That beautiful smile, Jen! Jennifer, look at this right here, Jen!
Emmy and Max seem to have grown out of their tantrums for the most part. Or did they just learn to hide them better? It's possible they take after their mother a bit more than people realize. According to Radar Online, Jennifer was a, quote, complete diva at the Grammys in 2019, demanding preferential treatment and taking over 3 whole dressing rooms. Moroccan. Mariah Carey is another famous Hollywood mom who worries about the effect the internet will have on one of her kids. But when it comes to her son Moroccan, she's less concerned about social media and more nervous about what he can accomplish, even with basic online access. Mariah stopped by Jimmy Kimmel Live and revealed some of the challenges she faces when parenting her tech-savvy son. Quote,
"My son is like a technological genius. Like by the way, he ordered a dog the other day."
Apparently, Moroccan wanted a new pet and didn't want to wait for his mom's permission. But when Mariah found out, she decided the family already has plenty of pets.
Cancel the dog.
The dog's been canceled.
In addition to trying for a new pet, Moroccan also did some online shopping. Some extensive online shopping. His mom says he spent $5,000 on Amazon before she realized what was going on. Although she admits to finding parental controls challenging, she does her best to rein in his habits by limiting his iPad access. Mariah declined to reveal which one of her kids is the better singer, but apparently Moroccan is the bigger troublemaker. He's always been a little reluctant to accompany his famous mom to certain public events, and isn't afraid to let the world know about it. This multi-talented mom once had to step in when he put a plastic bag over his head while she was performing in Vegas. Don't worry, he was just fine. Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is the daughter of Beyonce and Jay-Z, so it's not surprising that she is one fierce kid. This is a little girl that's not afraid to tell Queen Bey, "Hold my juice box." At the 2018 Grammys, Camila Cabello gave an amazing speech, and Beyonce and Jay-Z put their hands together in applause, at least until Blue Ivy had enough. She straight up scolded the two of them for being too noisy. Or maybe she's just not a Camila fan. Either way, she demanded they stop clapping immediately, and this wasn't the only time. Beyonce took her daughter to the 67th NBA All-Star Game, and the two sat in courtside seats, naturally. P. Diddy stopped by to show Beyonce someone on his phone, but Blue was not having it. She admonished her mother and demanded to see what all the fuss was about for herself. Is it really a surprise that a little girl who is her own stylist might grow up to be a bit of a diva? Willow and Jameson. Pink decided to take her two kids, Willow Sage and Jameson Moon, on a field trip to a very meaningful place. The family went to a Holocaust memorial in Berlin, and Pink shared a post on Instagram to commemorate the occasion. But what could have been a sweet, teachable moment didn't go over well with some fans, since it appeared that Willow and Jameson were running around this poignant place. Pink didn't see anything wrong with this, and neither did some of her fellow celebs, including Selma Blair. But others felt that her kids were being disrespectful. Her husband, Carey Hart, also had to deal with some backlash after sharing what he thought was a sweet video of Willow popping balloons, but his fans just weren't convinced she should have been using a pocket knife to do so. When Willow was just a toddler, she was already learning how to shoot and ride a dirt bike, so it seems like she could have chosen a safer balloon popping method. Lourdes. Madonna is the first person to admit that she finds her daughter Lourdes extremely frustrating sometimes. This pop superstar says she's positively green with envy because everything seems to come easily to her daughter. She can dance, act, play piano, and she even resembles Lady Gaga. Quote, "I'm definitely not cool enough for my kids." But Madonna says there's one thing Lourdes doesn't have, and that's drive. She says her daughter could take the world by storm, but she simply isn't motivated enough to do so. Something else Madonna worries about is Lourdes' reliance on social media. media. She describes it as a plague and says her daughter is definitely invested in keeping up appearances online. Madonna says all of this online access makes Lourdes feel entitled because her mom is one of the most famous celebrities in the world. She sees what luxuries her fellow famous kids are treated to and wants to be treated the same way. Growing up with wealth and fame can definitely impact someone's personality, but Madonna hopes that the fact that Lourdes is growing up with a mom who loves her will help balance that out. What do you think about these celebrity children? Do you think they're totally out of control? Or are they just kids being kids? Let us know what you think in the comment section. And then click on the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco. See you next time.